Welcome back, Club slash quick update. While I'm recording, I want to just give you some idea of what's happening. My focus is to build out lead generation and content and a lot more attention to those advisors and people, wholesalers in the club that maybe can't do as much content, and then give you the infrastructure so you can turn up your volume of content as well. So this is a path in that direction because AI, that's all I hear about now, is just constant. So I wanted to touch on a few things, and I'll send this PDF to everybody too, but I want to show you the breakout of the organization of what I've done. So we're going to go through each one and talk about it, but the first part is just text, right? I'm going to exit out of full screen view. Have any of you used ChatGPT yet? I'm assuming yes. Yep. Okay. So chat, I think the key to it is like pushing the limits, right? So I'm going to flip over to that real quick because I think most of us are probably using it like Google, and we're just putting in, tell me this, tell me that. But one thing that I've been trying to do more of is really pushing the limits as far as what kind of thing I ask chat to do. And so for content, for example, I will tell chat who to be. So pretend you are a 57-year-old female HR director. What do you want to know about 401k plans, right? Something like that. Oh, and it didn't work. Maybe I need to refresh. And so then it will, oh, there's Tanner, let him in. It'll give you a list of things that are probably the most common search. Now I've been reading up a little bit on what Google's doing because they've announced some AI coming out, and I don't think it's totally available to everybody yet, but you can do stuff like this and get great ideas, great lists, and build an infrastructure. But just like any other piece of canned content, Google actually is working hard to penalize people that are just cutting and pasting things from AI, from chat. So you're going to have to still put your personal spin on it. I don't think there's going to be complete automation where you're just somehow connecting all these dots and then content is being created from chat and then you're putting it out there. But this can at least give you some infrastructure, top 7 things of something that she would want to hear about. And you can even say, write a video script about number 7. So it'll start to write out this script and even tell you like what kind of ideas, like cut to the shot, like it'll do all of this. So the limits are crazy. So the idea is when you use chat, be very creative and try to break it. When you try to break it, you're going to realize there's some really interesting things. You can get some different perspectives that it's pulling from across all over the world, right? Pretty amazing that it'll do that, even tell you what to shoot and how to like make a video. So if you're having issues getting into chat, another 2 places that I've gone to use it, that I use all day long, is if you're a Canva subscriber, which is like $10 a month. I use that for the pro. They've got Magic Write. So if you go into documents, it's basically connected to ChatGPT, and you can do the same thing. Like you can just say, write a blog about Secure 2.0, boring 3.0, and it'll do the same thing.
Are they out with 3.0 already?
Yeah, we're already at 3. We're gonna, tell me what the future holds for Secure 3.0. So there you go. So it'll do that same thing, and then you're already in Canva, so you could take this and do some other things to add to it. So from a tech standpoint, I think we're all more than comfortable now at getting access to it. One other place I'll show you. Does anybody use Notion?
No.
Okay, so Notion's a really interesting tool that I went on a financial advisor. It was like a webinar about how they built their whole practice on Notion. And Notion is basically just a platform where you can build out like spreadsheets and just like tables, and you can keep lists, but it also has AI built into it now. So same kind of thing. If I hit that, I can actually do what I just did in Canva. So another 2 places to access chat without paying for the extra, because they're paying for the connection to chat, and you can get all this built into it. So just so you're aware, if ChatGPT, I know they just added the premium version for $10 or something. Notion, I've seen some fantastic things. I'm trying to build out a lot on myself, how I manage my digital marketing agency using Notion. So it's a tool just to be aware of. Okay, so That's text going back. So
Jake, can I quickly add one thing?
Yeah, fire away.
Recently, I can see that you're using Chrome. Have you ever tried Microsoft Edge browser? Since Microsoft has invested 10 billion into this chat GPT, they also integrated everything with the Microsoft Edge with their beansearch.com. And there is actually, I started using it, which is nice because I've been with Microsoft Edge for, I don't know, like maybe 4, 5, 6 months, and I love it better than Chrome. Take a look, because there is like a search and there is also a chat. And when you go to chat, you can talk to the chat, say something like you just said, tell me more about Secure Act 2.0, and it also basically typed in everything, and I can be like, so that's something, again, maybe explore this, because I've been using Edge with this integration with ChatGPT, and it's actually a very nice one too.
Yes.
Hey, Tammy.
In there.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, I haven't used Edge, but I have, but I've
Sure.
heard Microsoft is doing a lot more. I've always been
Yep.
back and forth. I'm not a huge Microsoft fan, like from a operating system, but you know, from
Yes.
definitely.
Okay, so what they do, Tammy, is the new.
I'm gonna mute Tanner. Yeah, but you're right. There's endless different applications going on. I know even Microsoft added it to Teams, and they're capturing notes for you automatically. So there's a lot going on for sure. The other part that I've actually used some of these, this Speechify, 11 Labs, and said these are all audio. So if you want to generate a voice, and this is, we're going to get into some ideas where if you're not like getting your video skills up to subpar, like getting them there, you may want to start to work on voiceovers, and you can actually build out, like when you have a small team, you can have, like I think all of us have, we don't have a huge amount of, that's just me, right? You can use these as voiceovers. So let me switch over. I'll show you Speechify. I actually built a video for some people in my neighborhood using it because they didn't want to be in the video. And I'm like, all right, we're going to do this. So Speechify is right. No, not that one. I thought I had all these in order. There it is. So really cool. They've got 4 main voices, and then you can actually use a bunch of other robot generated ones. But I use the Snoop Dogg one.
Snoop Double G, and I'm an English voice from the United States.
You can use these and make some funny videos, and you can go faster or slower. How I applied it, just so it makes sense. There's an app on your phone, and I actually put on my phone. I typed in what I wanted Snoop to say. Then I screen recorded that app saying it. And then I put that into CapCut, extracted the audio, deleted the video part, and then I just had the voiceover from Snoop. So a couple steps. I'm sure there's going to be easier ways to do that. There are some other tools. But if you don't want to be the one that always talking, like that's another cool way, and you can use different kinds of voices. The other one was 11 Labs. Yeah. And that one I was messing around with a couple days ago, and it is incredible. There is so much cool features to it. And I've seen some people use it where it sounds literally, you couldn't tell it was AI. Like it's getting good. You can tell usually, like the video I sent over in that chat today on LinkedIn, that was using my different tool. I'm going to show you in a second, but this one we could say,
Hi, Trey.
but you can change it, and there's all these different voices.
Hi, Trey.
And you could type out whatever you want, right? And so that's just another voice tool. So there's a lot of these tools out there. I think it's useful for those of you that want to try and make that. So let's jump into some really cool ones. After audio is where you get into images. And I was really like, one of the things that's tough, a lot of these platforms are in the whole crypto world, and they're using Descript, or not Descript. I'll show you. What's it called? I'm drawing a blank. It's Discord. That's what I was thinking of. In Discord, which is almost like I don't know how to explain Discord. It is like a huge server of just people talking about who knows whatever. And inside of this, this is where people are getting these pictures, right? They're putting in, you're actually telling in the Discord what to create. So if I do dash and I put imagine and I put prompt a starry sky in Alaska with a man in a suit. And there's a lot of prompts and things, but you can tell it to do that, and then it will start to create these AI images. And when you start to think through, what do I want in my video or on my website or whatever it might be. Like people are just telling this thing to do whatever. Let me go back to where mine is at. There it is. So what you can do is take these images, and then all I did with that video I sent over in the chat on LinkedIn today was upload a picture of me. And then in this other system, I'll show you 1 second, and then it started to talk. So I need to get more specific, because I could say zoom in to have the man cover 2/3 of the screen or whatever. So this is what it came up with. Where did we go? And it's so weird that's in Discord. It throws me off. There it is. So this is what it came up with, right? So you can just, out of your own words, come up with whatever you picture you want without having to go somewhere, get a camera out, or do lighting and hire a photographer, all this stuff. So pretty cool. That one is a little bit harder to use, I would say, but still very powerful. And that's called Midjourney. So you got to go to Midjourney, and then you got to join the Discord. It's all free. All this stuff is free. Usually there's a free version of all of it, but this is where you go to get that. And that's in the list. This one, PimEyes, you can load a photo of yourself or whoever, and it will basically pull in every single possible picture of that person across the internet. So you can find like what's out there about you or about whatever. I thought that was an interesting tool that is pulling all those things together. Photor is a different tool, and I forget, that one is not the one I wanted to show you. I want to show you Leapix. Photor does basically the same kind of thing that the Midjourney does, but Leapix, let's see if this loads up for me, will take a photo and it will make it move in a little bit of a way. Let's see if I have one saved. No. Let's see if I can load it up for you. Hold on, I made one last night of the logo, and I'll give you a sense of what I'm talking about. There we go. Oh, maybe it's not going to work. It's a GIF, but it's not loading that way. One second, I'll show you. This is where you can take a photo. You can, for you, Trey, you could do something at the lake, and it could add an effect to it that would make it pretty cool. That wouldn't necessarily be something strange or hard to do. It'd just take you a second. Okay, let me show you.
Okay.
Okay, so if I load in my logo, it's the wrong logo, but that's fine, you get it. So you can change these different lengths and animations and have it bounce around. You can have it go in a circle, a tall circle, back and forth, up, like back and forth, up and down. So it just adds this kind of weird visual effect and makes it a GIF that you could load into your website or to a message, or it just, you can put it as a background to one of your videos. There's just all sorts of applications, but it's a unique tool. So that makes your pictures come alive. Now, let's get into the two that I think are really powerful when you start to think about how we can communicate. Synthesia and DID. This is the tool I used to send that video to you of myself. So that video is right here. So I just loaded a picture of myself. I typed out what I wanted to say.
Hope to see you today
And it made
at the
this.
401 Club Sesh.
So you can tell it's
AI
definitely
is
AI
making
generated.
It's great news for those of you still not making videos.
But the idea that we're heading to this path where you could actually tell chat what you want, writes a script, you load the script, you load a picture. You don't even have to have yourself. You could have 5 people on your team with different avatars inside of these systems generating videos. It's pretty mind-blowing. I'm sure it's
Now you need to do it with Snoop Dogg's voice.
right. You can do a Snoop, like you can load any voice you want. So in DID, I don't know how like they call, I don't know what, if you say it did, died, I don't know. But what I noticed in there, you can upload any sound you want. So you could use that other tool, the Speechify, and load in Snoop Dogg's voice, and just your creativity can go crazy. And you can do that all in your pajamas at home. So it's just blowing my mind right now. There's just so many different applications that if you start to really put it together and use across multiple tools. Sometimes when I edit videos, there's a couple of tools that are getting better with AI editing. One that I love is captions. I use that all the time. It will, let me even show you that one because I think it's really a great application of AI for you that you could use right now. So a lot of you may have seen, let's see if that'll come up. Okay, so if I go to captions, a lot of you have seen my good buddy Andy. I do some video editing for him. You've seen maybe some of these,
A huge online presence.
these kind of
Now,
captions.
perceived expert.
So if I come in
You
here,
don't have to be smart, the smartest advisor. But the one I see the most, the
I
one
wanna go
hear
edit
from the
it.
most, the one,
let me go back. I'll show you what I mean. No, I don't want to create a new
and
one.
when you have a huge online,
All right, so these are all the different options. It's freezing on me. There we go. That you can change for your
and when
different
you have a
looking
huge
captions.
online presence, you are now my perceived expert. You
But
don't
what's
even
so
have to be
cool-
the smartest advisor. But the one I see the most, the one I hear from the
not
most, the one I
responding.
can find the easiest is
Okay.
That
done with
reminds
that.
me of Colin Cowherd.
online presence.
Close.
You are
Sorry.
now my perceived expert.
Okay.
So basically you upload the video, then create the video first, and then you upload to this captions.com, whatever, and then it creates the different styles of captions.
Right. Creates a caption for you automatically. It does a lot better job than I've seen with CapCut or Splice. Also, what's cool is you can click on these little three buttons here on the right of the, and it actually puts together a title, a description, and hashtags. So you could copy those right into your post. I have been using chat separately. This is a good start. You would probably still want to edit it and make it a little bit more personal to you, but it gets the ball rolling. I'll tell chat, write me an SEO optimized post about whatever my topic is in my video, and then it'll give me some sort of a framework, and then I can actually just go in and add and make it really good. But it's taking kind of the heavy lifting out of writing those out and pulling from different sources that you might not have even thought of. And so that's sometimes for me one of the tougher things. So I have a few clients, I'll do the posts, I'll do the editing for them. I'll take their video, I'll edit it in my laptop, a lot of the long stuff on DaVinci, which is a free tool to edit. And then I do most of the kind of After Effects and just making it the music and all the other things using my phone. I use CapCut or Splice. Splice is a much deeper library of audio and different music, and it's all, you can use it and you're not going to get pulled off of YouTube for that. And then I'll sometimes drop it into captions. So for one client, for Andy, I actually make I make his long videos every week, and then I make 3 short videos from each of his long videos. And each one of those short ones, I make 3 versions. One just basic with his voice, one with music, kind of background music that ties in and flows well, and then one with music and captions. And so I'll use DaVinci, CapCut, Splice, and captions as a flow to make it all happen. I hope one day AI just plays all that. But that's the thing, is there's a creative element to it, and how it's working so well for him is that I know the content he's trying to get out. So I'm able to pick the best parts of it and make those the ones that are the shorts. And you can do longer format stuff on TikTok than you can YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts have to be under 60 seconds, but they're getting way more attention. I think it's going to continue to pop even more. We weren't going to get into this today, but while we're talking about it, because Instagram just came out and did the same thing Twitter did and said, hey, you got to pay to be verified. It's going to cause a huge shift, because you're going to get a lot of content that's not necessarily good content. It's just been paid to be there because they've been verified with a blue check mark. And so a lot more I think a lot more people and eyeballs and attention is going to go over to YouTube, even more than it already has been. But I'll put the same videos, I'll test it. I'll put the same videos with different text in the actual like title and description on TikTok, Instagram Reels, and as well as YouTube Shorts. And then I'll do on LinkedIn. The LinkedIn will have a much longer written out thing to it usually. And so I never know. Each video performs so different. It's really crazy. There's no rhyme or reason. Trying to crack the algorithm is impossible. So the key is if you can build out that framework, and if we can use AI to help you sustain that, use Notion to build out a structure saying, all right, and this is my goal, what I'm going to get to. I want to shoot 8 videos in a month. I'm going to do those 8 videos in one day. I'm going to change my shirt, change my location, but I'm going to get them knocked out in either 4 hours or 6 hours. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to have 2 videos a week that are long format going on YouTube. And then from each of those, I'm going to have 2 or 3 shorts. And I can also make a carousel or a picture post with a caption on across the top of it or something. So from that 4 hours of work, I can get a whole month's worth of content. Because if you, when this video that I just edited for Andy last night gets out, it's 7 minutes. It's some of the best I've ever heard him talk about. Because he's talking to benefit brokers, but applies the same thing to us. Literally, like, the person that is the most well-known and recognized and has that trust wins. And doesn't mean you're the best or you know the most or you're going to save the most money or anything. They just see you the most. And so if you can use these tools and AI to be in front of more and more people instead of linear, like he talks about, where Steve Wilkinson is just focused on cold calling and hiring people to cold call, that's one at a time. But if you're doing it this way and you're actually putting it on the internet and you're just constantly being seen by people, and it's not this huge burden for you every day to try and make content, it's a burden for 4 hours a month. It's going to be an incredible advantage to you. And you both have that ability because you're not with a huge firm that's going to screw you over until you can't do it.
So this short videos are done with Notions, right?
So Notion is more of, I'm building out kind of a content calendar, and then I can see and
Notion. Okay, so this is the planner.
connect all the dots. Yeah. So like I can go back to my Notion. I'll show you what I mean. This is another client I work with. So I've got all of her metrics here, and I was actually tracking some things. So I've got a content calendar, and I can actually tie it in so I can see the different posts that are going to come out. We're still working on getting hers all up and running, but then I can look at this calendar, even though I've created all the content in one shot. Now I know when it's going to be released, and it will organize it here so I can see and then link it right to the drive on Google or wherever you're holding it. So it's more of just a database that's super flexible. Right. So then I can go back and I can see. So we just started to get her up and running. We've got a lot of content to grab through, but once you have it built out, Notion just has a lot of flexibility to track everything that you're doing.
So it's like a project management tool, basically. So you create tasks, you create deadlines, calendars, whatever whenever.
Yeah, it kind of replaces, like, you can. The advisor webinar I went to, they use it as their CRM. They use it as their operations workflows, everything through it. And so it's able to connect to a lot of different things, and you don't have to have all the software. My vision for my firm is going to be literally just using. I'm probably just gonna use Force Manager 5500 for my CRM, just because it's connected into all the data, and I don't have time to enter it all in. I just want to hit a button. And then I'm going to use Fiduciary. That's Josh Schitzo's. I'm like blown away. I'm using that more and more. So I'm loading all my clients in there right now, and even like new ones that I'm doing starter plans for. And I'm going to use that as well as FI360. So that's the thing. It doesn't have a scoring. So and then Kajabi is where I hold all of my websites, all my landing pages, my email funnels, all that stuff. So I'm going to do the whole thing with 4 main pieces of software outside of the video editing and all that, and other AI and chat. I'm not really talking about that. I can use that inside of Notion, but Kajabi is going to be where people go and see videos. I will probably throw in Video Ask, because I want to have some sort of automation for people to come and weed them through. Are you a starter plan? Are you an existing plan? Are you an advisor? Like, where should I send you? And they can interact with it, and it's dynamic where it will take them to another spot because they answered one way or the other. It's a video of me. So that'll be embedded on Kajabi. But then as far as running my practice, it's RX and FI360 only. Like, I don't want anything else. And I told Tom that with his whole 401k tech thing, his thing going on, and he didn't know what Kajabi was, but there's so many old, crazy, expensive pieces of 401k tech that you don't need. So for me, it's FRX. You can track the progress of your plans. You can track where they are, what they need to be doing. It tells you exactly what you have to do as an advisor. 6 areas, fiduciary formula. So if you're not using that, like, I'm going to try and get him to give us all a better deal. More on that later when you're ready. But there's 8 other reports as well, like a fee benchmark report. I'll show you, if you guys have a second, I'll show you real quick.
Yeah.
I was really messing around a lot with it the other day. Let's see. So the RX report, I sent this one. This is the main report. So you can have it all branded however you want. And then it goes into your 6 areas of fiduciary wellness. And then it's got a score. So it's like risk-aligned for a plan, right? So this is how I'm going to start out this plan. I went through and said, all right, we're going to be here. This is how we're going to get rolling, because we still got to do some more things as far as fiduciary governance and processes that aren't started yet. And so then it breaks it up and says, all right, you've passed ADP. Obviously, you haven't had a plan yet. And then all this we don't know yet. So we've got another 18 points we can get out of this. Once the plan gets up and running, we know what kind of participation rate we have, what kind of plan design they're going to set with. And then it goes through to the next section where it tells them each point they're going to get for each one of those. So it gamifies the entire thing. And also you're going to be able to show these reports every quarter. This is what we did. We were at a 0 here. Now we're at an 8. What more can we do? And they're like, oh, we just need to make sure we're have an opportunity to meet with clients or employees one by one. So we're going to add that to it. So that's the main report. This other one though, I'll show you this. Yeah, this one. It's got it's connected into FI360 and it gets a lot of data for like plan size and stuff. And that's another report, but this one shows, so you put in this, like how much is the plan going to grow? What's it at? What are the costs going to be? And it will show them their current situation, what the reckeeper costs, what the advisory costs are, right? This one's huge because it's just getting started and I'm charging a flat $300 a month. So the numbers are crazy, but that's my startup fee. So it will actually show and project over time what that will look like. And you can do this for existing clients and show them that the trends of where we're trying to get you. And that's where you get more to levelized fees, where you're not having all asset-based fees.
What record keeper are you using for startups?
So I'm set up with, my main 3 are Vestwell, Voya, and Vanguard. And they have 3 different advantages. And so Vestwell has basically 3 levels. I only use 2 of them, and it's bundled or unbundled. They have a new Flex product where they've already connected into EGPS, Future Plan, TRA, and there's one other one, Nova. There's one other one. I like EGPS and Future Plan, but it's $250 a month and $8 a person, and that's unbundled, but that is including the fee that goes to the TPA. So it's pretty crazy. There's no asset-based fees. The other one is $175 a month, and I think $7 a person, 7 or 8. Can't remember what they came back with. This is the monthly fee. And then you can do whatever you want on the fund side. So I'm just doing a low-cost index Vanguard lineup as my 338. They have managed accounts they can throw in, all that kind of stuff. So that's not always the cheapest. Voya has a different kind of setup with some of these TPAs for a startup plan, because they won't do a startup bundled. They're on the high end on the percentage side. So they start like 1.34 is what they've been telling me. And then we can do a TPA for $102, like $1,400 a year and $24 a person a year.
Right.
So it starts out cheaper, but if it's going to grow and flow good cash into it, then it's going to be high fast. So I make sure like they can see that. And then Vanguard, a census, they start at 38.25 base. So that's going to be higher, but if they're already above that 15 people, it might be cheaper. It just depends on, so it depends on assets or people and what's going to grow the most. That I kind of project that with these reports so they're aware. But my vision is, if you're familiar with America's Best 401k, they just white labeled LT Trust. So I'm trying to make the 401 Club be almost like an incubator for plans to come to. We'll do a ton of content, build this machine, and have a lot of attention on people that want a little bit more help than maybe they're getting at Guideline or ADP or wherever they're maybe starting their plans. And it's going to be a community type of arrangement. 3 tiers. The first tier is going to be, we'll just help you get started. $1,500. I'll make sure you get in a good place. You go do it yourself. I'll just get you set up. Some people want to do that. Cool. I'll do the work, but I want to get paid for it. And then the other one's a community based, the middle tier, where they're going to pay $300 a month. They're going to get group help. So if they have a question, like we're going to answer that question for everybody, unless it's something private and unique to their plan. So every single month, every week, there's going to be continuous value growing into this 401 Club, but they're going to reach a point where they get stuck. And that's where the club members come in, because I only want 25 clients and I'm not going to be traveling around. I don't want to be doing like the old fashioned thing for a lot of clients. So I've been building out this map for all of our club members. And so what I want to do is almost like XY planning, I want to introduce people when they're ready for a full-blown advisor. Maybe they want someone locally, maybe they just want to get bids from people. Like the people in the members of the club, you guys are the ones who are going to get these leads. That's my goal. Is I want to have lead generation for you. I don't want to take any piece of anybody's plans or their business, any of that crap. I just want to help you. It's a flat monthly
Simplify the
fee.
process. Yeah, I joined Mariner and they've got a full team that handles the 401k plans, but basically you got to turn it over and you get 25% of the first year revenue and 10% of ongoing revenue. I'm like,
Yeah, it's rough.
what the fuck, dude? Surely there's an easier way to do it and still not use your team, but I don't know. I'm just,
That's my goal. Is I want these plans to be like 4 hours a year kind of a thing. Like,
Right.
Even the full
Yeah.
service ones, because we're going to automate as much as we can, putting the details into FI and RX, so that there's a checklist. I can even hire a VA for really cheap to plug those in. It might be my wife for a while, but those can be sent out, and we know we're going to do once a year. We're going to do a benchmark on the plan. We're going to make sure that they're in a good spot. We're going to work towards all of the best fiduciary practices, which keeps their fees low, keeps their education up. I'm partnering with other advisors. So I'm meeting with another group today. We're working on this big plan, but we're working on a bigger relationship that I'm basically a fractional 401k advisor for them. Not going to cost them anything. I'm going to be in the plan. They can be in the plan. They're taking just one section of the participant support. So I'm going to filter to them anybody that wants to work with an advisor, that because I'm not doing individual clients. I've got one weird advisor that doesn't do individual. And that's another piece. I'm just trying to figure out how to help more advisors take it.
you'll have kind of that ability for me to bring you in and do that same thing.
Yeah. And I'm
Find the right fit, put it together. And then, yeah, because I'm one of those other weird advisors that likes to work with the individual participants and do the planning. I want to use the plans as a tool for me to build up my other part of my business.
But if we can pull together the club and say, look, and that's what I'm telling them today, is like, we have advisors all across the country. So if we have a national account that we're trying to go after, like, we can compete with the big names, and we don't necessarily, we're not giving up any revenue to each other. Like, we're just helping each other, and whatever we arrangement we come up with as far as the time it takes, or maybe you just take the whole thing because it's in your state. I don't care. Like, it's all about leveraging each other's abilities without screwing each other over. I'm just so sick of that. And so I really want to help a lot of advisors not get in that spot where I've been multiple times, where I'm building this book of business. I don't own anything. I could have the rug pulled out from under me anytime.
Right.
I don't want to hear that again from people. I want to help them avoid that. So that's the vision, is making the club the known brand where you go and get your plan and you've got all the help and resources you need. And we just continue to get each other better and stronger and stay ahead of everybody else that's moving super slow.
Okay.
No, that's
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
So,
got a lot of questions on pricing and how you set all those things. Like, how does the billing work? Do you separate that out? I've not done that before. I know you can probably charge a fee, and I can charge a fee under my RA, and just
then we're both on the plan. So that's what I'm going to do with a few advisors that want me to work for them, is they'll be on the plan for participant education. And so
Right.
if the plan wants to pay them out of assets, they can do that through that. But we're not going to rev share. I'll be on the plan providing my fiduciary 401k services, and it's going to be laid out in the agreement. I have a 338 agreement. I'll have that option. If people can't do a 338, I'll have that for them. It's going to be crazy cheap, low cost, and not complex. Not like some of these others are like 60 bips. I'm thinking like next to nothing. Yeah. So you're right, though. There is some definite regulations, things we got to clarify. And the bigger the firm, the harder it is. But most of us in the club are independent, and
I'll tell you, Mariner is very comfortable. I had a conversation with my business development person the other day, and because I asked her, I've got other advisors that I know that are struggling working with. I've got one guy locally here that has his own RA. He's got some bigger opportunities he didn't know how to work with, and I've got the team at Mariner. They're willing to bring that in and share revenue with him, without him becoming a part of the.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, the big firms, the big ones, like CapTrust, SRP, I've seen behind the curtain. So just because someone's with a big firm, you're still just getting a small team. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, they're leveraging the firm for a good looking RFP. I don't really want to deal with RFPs. I want to go after the 5 to 20 million space, lock in people I want to work with. I might even do a free cash balance promotion, because they're so easy from a asset management standpoint, but I think I could capture a lot of 401k assets with some doctors I want that way. So yeah, that's the idea, is just like, how can we help each other so that we can compete with the big firms? Because we're doing just as good a work, probably doing better work, and because we're more holistic, and then we can leverage each other's advantage, like our skills, because both of you are way better. I don't do individual stuff. I need people like you around to take those, because it comes up all the time, and I want to make sure that we leverage video to get you in front of those. So if we did a plan together and you're like, I just want to get the rollovers, you run with the plan, cool. You can do the education, but I'll record you and we'll edit that. We'll put that on a landing page so that you're the face to all these people, and they're getting information about their plan and how to save for retirement and Medicare, whatever you want to have topics on there. You're not you can scale that. It can be a plan with 2,000 people. It doesn't matter, because we're going to filter out. I've given my number out to thousands of people. Like, it's not, you would think you're going to get bombarded, and you really don't. There's a couple people that take advantage of it, but
Yeah, no, I get it.
it's not scary. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm making landing pages. That's a whole nother call, but landing pages for every single client that has a template. I'm going to have already recorded videos for those 3 record keepers. I'll probably add a couple more in as we get bigger, that how to enroll, how to change your investments, the most common questions will be on this website. So they ever come to me, yeah, go to the website. The question I don't answer on there, then I'm going to make a video about it, answer it for everybody. So the next time, go to the website. It's not going to be
Yeah, that's my vision as well. And what website Hattie has it, but you're suggesting create it in not Canva.
I do it in Kajabi. I like Kajabi because it's unlimited landing pages and unlimited video hosting.
Okay. So you're going to create that for your clients as a whole? Yeah. So anyone that's a participant or whatever in the plan, or do you create it for each individual plan?
So each individual plan will have a landing page. So I'm in the middle of rebuilding.
So like that enrollment has a similar process set up.
So this is a client I have out in Colorado, right? I went out there to see them. I made a video. I'm going to update this video now that I've already been out there. It just tells them I'll be there. Here's the flyer that I create, the one pager that shows them all the details of their plan, right? And then tax brackets. And then so down below, I've started recording these and I just haven't uploaded them yet, but I'll have 6 videos about how to enroll, how to change your investments, how to do your beneficiaries, how to do a rollover. I've got a Zoom call to my calendar, or they can just text me and they can go right into Voya to their plan. So what's cool is then everything's going to be 401club.com/their name. It's not SEO optimized. So you'd really have to just find it, but nothing's private on here anyway. Like I'm not worried about anything.
You kind of took the whole Venrollment idea and just created your own.
Yeah. Like I would rather not be tied to Venrollment. One, I don't like those kind of videos is the main reason.
Yeah. And I know you can put your own on there and replace their videos with your own.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's the thing. Like Kajabi can do all that.
It's for the non-tech guy that doesn't know how to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
Just an out of the box solution.
It's like, that's what I build out for Dominic in the club, is his whole website is, I built this entire thing on Kajabi. And also you can go to this whenever you want, Sacramento 401k Advisors. So we built out all these different pages, and we actually made his call to action an interactive version of the Fiduciary RX scoring. So we've got all these short videos. I recorded all these for him, edited them, loaded them on.
How does your 401k?
So introduces him, and then this score, they can get a score and see what they're actually doing based on, it's like a minute and a half. They do 13 questions, and then it tells them, ooh, like you probably should do some of these things. And it's telling them as they're going, like what they should be doing. So it's like, have an IPS, do you like, and we can change these out anytime we want, super easy. And then it sends an email out to them right after. It pops up saying, hey, you're doing great. There might be some things, but you're on track, and that's good. So we wanted to have a call to action that was simple, and then we break out all the 6 different pieces. So there's a lot of content on here, but the idea is that we want to build out his funnel of people finding him and then going to his website, getting that score.
Right.
And kind of preliminarily.
Yeah, it's great to have him, but if you don't have a funnel.
Yeah, he's not doing content yet. And I'm like, Dominic, we got to make content. So we're working on.
So basically the way will be to bring people by doing video, recording videos, promoting them on LinkedIn, like among plan sponsors and all of that. So that's how you plan to bring people to his website to take this assessment?
Yeah, getting in front of more and more people, like really targeting his area, because that's why we named it Sacramento 401k. Just making sure that we're hitting them on probably Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, and then having him try to get some speaking events, like really just do anything we can to reach more than one person at a time. And that way he's going to keep popping up. Like when it becomes a thing, they're going to see him. But the call to action is not necessarily always going to be, give me a call, we'll give you a benchmark, or like that kind of sales pitch. It's going to be giving value, teaching the people how, so that he becomes the resource. And so he's been a really good example of what I'm trying to do, what I'm actually launching for my own little firm here in Utah. But I want everyone to have kind of a similar process where you have the machine, the structure to it. So it's not this overwhelming, I don't even know where to start. Here's a list of all the things. We can go through and actually have ChatGPT analyze the top 5 401k YouTube videos and write out an entirely different script that you personalize and you shoot, or you make an avatar to do it, however you want. Yeah, the possibilities are endless. And it's a matter of thinking through that whole customer experience. And then we're also shot 2 videos, one video that goes out to them once they set up a first meeting with him. He's going to say, you got to watch this video before we meet. It's 2 minutes, explain what it's like to work with him, what's expected, what they're going to get out of it. And then the first meeting is just all about them. So trying to automate every single part of it, but still keep it personalized is the key.
How do you separate the target market of the consumer, the 45-year-old Gen Xer that I want to target as a planning client, from the business owner 401k plan in your brand? Do you need to bifurcate those two and create 2 different brands, or 2 different, like if you're putting up both things and not confusing the end client?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a hard thing to do. But if you think about like where you're going to put think the context of where those people might be. So you're probably not going to put you shouldn't put the same thing on LinkedIn as you put on Facebook. And there's content. When I say content, I don't mean just like social. Like you could be sending out content to them in a different way, but as long as you address them, right? Like right up front, like make sure they understand, like this is for them. So hey, business owners, like just starting that way is going to help them either qualify or disqualify themselves.
Okay.
So making more and more content explaining the 2 parts to your business and how you help business owners, and how even business owners, they have 2 sides of what they need to worry about: their business, which is their biggest asset, and then to grow that, they need people.
Right.
And that's where we come in, is we can help you manage both of those. So having just put yourself in their shoes, what would make sense to them? And I think just being known as the person that can help this kind of client, I start with the main target, right? That's the business owner, I would say. Right? You're saying, but there's also a great thing to do with building participant or employee demand if you're going after some of these bigger companies. But I would say there's a bigger opportunity to go after business owners that are kind of niche down and not necessarily enterprise level plans.
No, I agree. And that's where I fit in better. The solopreneur, the small dentist office, or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think you've already got a great head start on your brand and your feel of lake life. And
yeah, I second guess it all the time though.
No, people are going to resonate with that. That really appeals, like, because you seem very relatable. You're not just this button up with a tie kind of guy advisor where you're not showing your real you. That's where I would say people that don't have maybe Mariner's not letting you do as much or whatever, still be the real you all over the place. You can have a link to where you are, the business you and the business content, and mix it up on the platforms they allow you to do it.
Yeah.
But you don't necessarily
I need more of the business me.
But
I need more of the business me and put it out there. I need to create the content structure, the organization.
I could see you doing a great podcast, like next to the lake, almost like do you follow Bert Kreischer, that comedian?
Yes. The guy with the shirt off, the guy
just like chilling on like a couch by the lake on the dock. And just talking about all the different crazy scenarios, like even just having like different guests where you're like, how did you start? Like, where did it even begin? Walking them through all the good things they did, the mistakes they made, and just highlighting some of these business owners would be a really cool way to pull a ton of content out of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would consider
business owner retreat down the lake.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then put together an event. I really want to do an event. I'm vetting out venues. I can't shake it. I want to do it so bad. It's just so hard because these venues want a huge commitment. I don't know how many people are going to show. So I'm trying to just find that medium to get it at least up and running. But I think you've got a great venue. Like if you had,
yeah, it's 3 hours away from my hometown.
Yeah.
So that's the tough part. But there's a really cool small lake with a venue facility here in Wichita that I was thinking about doing, partner up with one of the boat shops, and hey guys, I'm going to bring all these people, clients with money, you bring some boats and just do a family fun day event around boats and lakes, and it's right here in town.
Yeah, I think that's where you build your community and people want to be a part of it.
Right.
That's what's going to keep your business growing, and it's going to keep people around forever.
Yeah.
And you're going to do good work, and then they start to talk. But the thing is, even those great clients that are talking about you, that's where the content really shines, because someone that refers you, that person that got your name, is going to go look you up. And that's what that video from Andy was like. When they do that, like, the more they see,
So
the more
share
they
my passion more so than,
yeah, they go and look, if they can't find your website or anything about you, you missed your chance. So that's why you got to have that volume button turned up and be the authentic you, be the relatable you, and show people what you do, not necessarily hold back because they got to pay you to get the real advice. Give it away. No one
Right.
can replace you.
This is all good.